All right. Hello, everybody. Thanks for tuning in today. If you're watching this broadcast live, or perhaps you're watching it as a recording later on, got a good friend here with me, Sandy. Good. All right. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Good to see you, Ronnie. I'm so glad that you asked me to do this. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, I wanted to, the title of this live stream, of course, is appropriately called "Patterns and Licks with Sandy Weltman." This is a class that's coming up that I'm going to feature Sandy on the harmonica 123, and that's happening Saturday, October 25th,
Hmm.
and it's going to take place at 11 a.m. Central. This class will be recorded, so if you can't attend live and you want to still get in, you can watch it later. And I thought we'd take a minute and just chat and get to know you a
Yeah,
little bit and talk about the class, man, and
yeah,
see if anybody has any questions for those that might be checking this out as a live stream. But you and I met over at Spa, like everyone else I've met in the harmonica community. I feel
that's
like
where
we,
everybody meets, man.
yeah. And so I've known you for a while. I feel like I've known you for close to a decade, I want to say, maybe.
Probably you
Yeah.
and all my bill collectors, man.
Let's hope not. But yeah, and like I know what struck me early on is that not all players are great teachers, but you're a really good teacher, Sandy. And not only do I say that from my opinion and from what I've seen you do out there, and you're a great musician too, but I get that feedback from students that I work with that have worked with
Hmm.
you. They bring your name up a lot. I haven't told
Wow.
you this, I don't think, but yeah, and it's really cool. And after a while, I'm like, why have I not featured Sandy? He's a great guy, he's a great teacher, and he's a phenomenal player. So that's what's happening. This topic of blues patterns and blues licks. Why don't you take a minute and just let us know what the gist of the class will be like? And
Yeah,
this again is not until Saturday, October
yeah,
25th.
sure,
What
yeah.
do you got planned?
Well, first of all, thanks for saying that. That's really really appreciate that. I do love to teach, and I've been doing it for many years. I've done blues in schools around St. Louis for gosh 30 plus years, and then teaching
And this again is not
more
until
advanced players or beginning players. I just really like to hone into where they're at. And then use the whatever knowledge I was able to get, and try and convey it to them in a way that is understandable. And as you and I both
yeah.
know, the harmonica isn't always really understandable like
No.
other instruments.
Yeah.
So there's a real challenge with that at times. But the blues, I mean the patterns and licks workshop I'm going to be doing is something that's you know as close to my heart as a musical idea can be close to someone's heart, and it's the idea that this is kind of how I learned to play first learned when I first learned harmonica. I learned it from Howard, at a camp, and then got to know
That's
him, Howard
right.
Levy, and so I just kind of got immersed in these ideas of practice ideas that would develop into licks and other things, and he kind of he kind of inspired me into that. So when I started practicing and just getting my chops together and my ear together and understanding this, I think I was practicing patterns from the beginning. And patterns, if you don't know what they are, you've probably played them, you've definitely heard them, and it's just a musical way to play a series of notes, and then a predictable series of notes, so that
Yeah.
you play four notes, you can kind of predict what the next four notes are, and then the next four notes. And so there's patterns going on in life. We know that the sun's going to come up the next day, and that's a pattern, right? So playing patterns has always been something that's grown me a lot musically. Even if you don't know much theory, it's really exciting because it can turn into a lot of exciting licks.
I like this topic a lot. It's a topic that I've taught before. I have a class
Mm-hmm.
called uh, pattern recognition. I
Mm.
did a
I
pattern
didn't know that.
recognition.
That's great, man.
Yeah, and what's cool is that I'm so into this topic, but
Mm.
getting another teacher's and another player's perspective
Yeah.
is going to be a totally different concept or idea and approach. Usually, to the for the big most of what we talk about, look at
Mm-hmm.
compared to somebody else or another player. Our minds are different, but they're alike in this way of thinking patterns. I like patterns because patterns take the guesswork out, the thought out of music, and allow you to focus on the emotion. And when you think about patterns, it's muscle memory, and
It is
patterns
muscle.
replicate. And the cool thing about patterns, you would probably agree, is that patterns sometimes create the same musical idea, but sometimes a visual pattern creates a new musical idea from
Hmm.
register to register. And
Absolutely.
so you're always
And you
learning.
Yeah, and what I really love is when I listen to people now playing, um, whether they know it or not, I can hear a pattern kind of repeated, whether it's rhythmically or melodically.
Uh huh.
And if you can kind of learn to assimilate those ideas and do it intentionally, it just opens up this whole new idea, way of improvising, you know?
Yeah. I love this topic. I think it's great. So let's take it one step further, just for a moment. So hypothetically, I'm in the class with you on the 25th,
Okay. I hope
and
you
we're
are.
no, no, no. I mean, I'm a student. I'm
Yeah,
somebody
okay.
watching on YouTube. I'm in
Yeah.
the class with you, and I'm trying to get a good sense for what I might walk away with being able to do that I couldn't do before. How would you answer that?
Hmm. Um, well, I guarantee you, you're going to walk away with some really cool patterns that, first of all, that we'll have on tab and everything, and but more than that is understanding how to create your own patterns
Hmm.
and how to recognize them and just start assimilating that into your playing. So we'll actually just as I the first maybe 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes as I kind of explain what they are and demonstrate, we'll just kind of start with some numbers and then translate those into musical notes and into harmonica. And we'll probably do that in first position, but then we're going to quickly go into second position and focus mostly on blues patterns and pentatonic patterns. However, once you get this concept and the idea, you can start them really simply, but you can get so so complicated with it, and I don't mean that in a bad way, but you can
Right.
just take this to the limit. And I've been playing patterns on arpeggios, diminished scales, major scales, minor scales my whole life, or since I've started playing harmonica. But even just starting with pentatonic and blues scales,
Yep.
it's just opens up this horizontal world for you. It's going to make everything sound bigger, you know.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I could go on and talk about this topic because
Me too.
it's one of those things where like when I finally found fifth position and I was like, I already knew it. Why didn't I play? You know what I
Well, a
mean?
lot of
But
it is knowledge, man. It's a
well,
lot of it we might do some of it, but it's like understanding some of it too, you know.
assimilation. Often
There
it
you
comes.
go.
It's like,
Hmm.
how did I not recognize that I just needed to
Mm,
displace the first note or of a scale and get to a new
right.
position of this fifth? And by the way, now I use it constantly. That
Yeah,
position is
yeah.
one of my.
Oh yeah. And you know, but those when the light bulb comes on, those moments are so exciting.
Yeah.
And when you're learning harmonica, and I played a number of other instruments, but there's something really magical about those light bulb moments with the harmonica because you can't see any note. I mean, you can't see anything on
Yeah.
it like you can a
Yeah.
guitar, and so it's really extra special when that understanding comes to fruition, you know.
Well, I want to just mention that, like, we haven't said it at all, but your background as a musician. Well, first
Hmm.
of all, you've been sharing some great compositions, some jazz
Oh,
compositions that
thanks.
on the diatonic. Just for those that are wondering, Sandy is an advanced overblow player. You play multiple genres of music, but a few of them being blues and jazz. And the stuff that I've heard you do is remarkable. I'll
Oh,
share
thanks.
some things in the comments later. I'll go back and tag in the comments like a video or two that you've released. I encourage you guys to follow Sandy, reach out to Sandy. He's a teacher. You can connect with him. Am I right about that? Private
Absolutely,
lessons.
anytime. Yeah.
Having somebody that's teaching a topic like blues licks and patterns, but also has the technical ability of all the overblowing, can answer. You can answer questions if somebody's wondering, what's your approach to the actual technique. I get that a lot, and I can overblow, but I'm not an overblow specialist. So it's nice to have somebody that has a really complete set of skills.
Yeah.
And I just love your playing, man. Every time your stuff
Thanks.
pops up, I'm like, what's he gonna do now? Like,
I
because
yeah,
it's
yeah.
incredible.
I thank you, Ronnie. I grew up playing, believe it or not, bluegrass banjo, and I was a banjo player for years and string
Whoa.
instruments until and then I had to stop probably about 15 years ago because I had some hand issues, but I still play like ukulele I can play. But I was playing banjo till I was about 30,
I didn't know
and
that.
then I heard Howard on this record, and it was the only first time I heard him, and he was playing with a group called Trapezoid,
Oh
and
yeah,
he
that
played this
sounds
kind of
familiar.
country solo or this one country song, and it was very chromatic and pentatonic, but I like where are those? I knew enough about harmonica, like where are those chromatic notes coming from? This was in 1980 '88 or something, you know, and
Yeah.
it drew me in, and I was really attractive to that chromatic approach. So I first learned that way, you know, and so I kind of play that way, I
One
guess.
more quick question related
Yeah.
to patterns is when there's musical patterns, there's visual patterns, and recognizing what can play out, like I said, in multiple registers. Are you a real? I'm assuming you must be a pretty vigilant visual player in your mind, seeing where you're moving on the instrument, like you have the
Totally.
art. Yeah, I find
I
that.
mean, I see everything, but I see. Well, Howard, I remember when I first learned, he used to say, "I see everything on a G harmonica," because he played piano, and he would just kind of. I mean, he plays obviously in every key, but he sees things on a G harmonica. But I could never, and because I always thought, well, I want to see. I intentionally wanted to see these notes. You don't have to, obviously, but you can be a great player without it. But I wanted to, but I started trying to memorize all the notes on all 12 key harmonicas, and I was
Oh
a new
wow.
player, and I was like, there's got to be a simpler way than this, you know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I eventually pulled back and realized, well, the harmonica is kind of self-transposing. I can just memorize the notes on a C harmonica. But that was a light bulb moment, right? You know, and
Yeah.
it was
Totally.
exciting.
Well, I can't wait to connect with you in this class. I know it's going to be great. If you guys want to learn more about how to sign up or read about it, you can just head over to the video description. I've updated it so you can find links to sign up for credit card or PayPal to jump
Yeah.
into the class. Um,
One more thing, if I can
mhm.
mention too, is if you go to my YouTube channel, there's, I mean, the last, I guess, half year, I've been posting a number of chromatic harmonica. But if you go through that or through all the ukulele stuff, there's a ton of diatonic stuff too, and you can hear just sort of some different ideas and things that I do with the diatonics. So just go over to my YouTube channel and search around.
I will link that in the video description for everybody so that you can easily find Sandy's website, I mean, his YouTube channel, and also subscribe when you get to his channel. I can say that for you. Subscribe to the channel and get serious because if you want to get good, you got to follow people that are better than you. And I know that and I've been a lucky dude because everyone I always came across was a better player than I was
Oh
when I
man,
was learn.
you're a really fine player, Ronnie, man. You've always been a great player.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah.
I appreciate it, Sandy. And it was great to connect with you today to chat a little bit. Look
Yeah.
forward to seeing you on the 25th and anybody else that's going to join us. We appreciate you checking out this live stream discussion of class. If you have any follow up questions, you can always email me at info@harmonica123.com. And we look forward to seeing you there.
Awesome.
All right. Take care, Sandy. I'll see you soon.